This just in, we're hearing reports all over town about women fleeing the hair salon. YouTuber Summer Beauty has been making groundbreaking videos for viewers to be able to achieve an in-salon volume blow dry at home.
It's just been life-changing, really. She has saved me so much money. She just makes it so easy. I never thought that I would be able to have my hair look like this.
We're going live right now with Summer, who's going to show us just how she does it. Summer, welcome. So how do you do it? Make this so easy. Surely there's a step one, or do you just jump right in?
Hi, thanks for having me. Yes, there is a step one, and it all starts with applying your hair products. What products you use make a huge difference in getting your hair to look how you want it to. You always want your first product to be the one you want to see the most results from. For me, that's volume. So I always apply a root lifter first. You can apply this to just set areas like your crown and sides, as those areas are typically where people like to see the most volume, but I apply it all through my hair. So fully covering my roots, moving in sections at a time so I get maximum volume. You also want to add a volume mousse. A root lifter has a bit more texture and product feel to it that will be too stiff for the rest of your hair. So a volume mousse is going to give your mids and ends that volume that you want to see.
And how much product should you be applying of the mousse? Is it just one big huge ball, or should you break it up?
Great question. Typically you want to use 2 to 4 balls of mousse to spread through your hair. That way you can really work the product more evenly. You want to think of the products as sort of a pyramid when applying. So root lifter first to your roots, which would be the top of your pyramid, and then apply the mousse first to your midsection, and then an additional ball of mousse to your ends, which would be the base of our pyramid. The amount of hair you have, short or long, thick or thin, will determine how many balls of mousse you need, but typically no more than 4.
Never would have thought of it like that. Love it. What brands do you suggest? Do you have any favorites, or should people just use whatever they have at home?
If people have a product that works for them, they can certainly stick with that. I know a lot of people, though, do struggle to find a product that gives great volume without the product feel. So my suggestions would be Moroccan Oil's Volume Mousse as well as their Root Boost. It is a high price point, but both are well worth the cost as they have a very light product feel and perform well. And Paul Mitchell's Extra Body Volume Spray and Sculpting Foam are great as well, and a good option at a more affordable cost.
Nice. I have actually used both those brands and they do work great. You didn't mention heat protectant. Are the volume products okay to use on their own at home, or should someone be using a heat protectant as well?
Yes, you definitely want to make sure you are using a heat protectant. Anytime you add heat to your hair, you always need to be using one. My favorite options are either a spray and heat protectant to work through your hair, or another fan favorite is Redken's Big Blowout. This is a great heat protectant. It doesn't really give volume though, so don't let the name fool you, but it is a great low product feel option to give the heat protection that your hair needs.
All right, now let's get to the hard part. I know as a stylist of 16 years, you know how to work a blow dryer to give your clients the hair they want. Are viewers going to need a separate brush and blow dryer, or can they use one of those blowout brushes? I really struggle with having to have both my arms up and holding 2 items. It's tiring, to say the least.
That is another great question. Using a separate dryer and brush certainly will give you great results and maybe the best results. However, it really is a lot of work for one to do on themselves. So this blow dry, we're going to be using a blowout brush, and specifically the Dry Bar Single Shot, which is going to help make this so easy.
And why this specific blowout brush?
This is an actual round brush head. You don't have to use specifically the Dry Bar brand. They are just one of the few companies that have the actual round shape. Most blowout brushes are oval, which is fine for creating a smoother, sleek look, but when wanting volume, the round shape really allows for one to create maximum lift, volume, and a little bit more bend in the hair, so you're able really to achieve and get that salon style blow dry on your own at home and not kill your arms, so you can get a great look without the stress on your body.
That really makes so much sense. That's one of the things I don't like about the one I have. I feel like I don't have enough volume. I might have to gift myself a new round blowout brush. Now, what's the next step to create volume while drying? We've got our products in, we know the tool to use.
Well, before using your round blowout brush, we're actually going to be using a standard dryer to just lightly rough dry the hair. This is going to help get some of that extra moisture out to help speed up our blow dry time. You want to make sure that you're using a blow dryer with a concentrator nozzle to help direct your airflow better, and you want to make sure you are lifting your hair as you rough dry to help start creating your volume. You always want to make sure in a volume blow dry you are working the hair in an upward or outward direction. You never want to be drying the hair down. That's going to flatten it out, really working to do the opposite of what we want.
And how long should we be rough drying our hair?
No more than 2 to 3 minutes. If your hair is too dry, you're not going to be able to create the same kind of volume. So once you've done your rough dry, you're going to need a single butterfly clip, and you'll create your first section and start actually using your round blowout brush.
All right, Summer, so I gotta say, all this sounds too easy and too good to be true. Surely it gets a little tougher here soon, right?
Yes. While this is easier and much less work than using a separate blow dryer and round brush, you still are going to get somewhat of an arm workout, but it's way less exhausting. That's one of the things I love about the single shot. It is extremely lightweight. You want to make sure when you're drying your hair, you are lifting your hair straight up. This is what's going to create our volume. I typically will run the dryer through my hair, moving it straight up about 2 to 3 times. This is going to start getting that hair warmed up so you can create that volume. You then want to roll your hair into the brush fully. That's what's going to give your hair that bouncy, full shape that you often see in a salon style blow dry, and you'll sort of just continue this same movement throughout your hair. So straight up as best as possible, 2 to 3 times, and then roll your hair into the brush. You typically want to hold your hair in the brush a count of about 7 seconds and then let that hair out and repeat.
Summer, I wanted to ask you another question. I know we put in our heat protectant, but I have heard that these blowout brushes, while they sound like an easier option, they put out a lot of heat. Are there multiple heat settings with these, or what else can someone be doing to maybe balance that out?
Yes, that's a great point you've brought up. Blowout brushes are typically extremely high in heat in order to help speed up the process. Most unfortunately just have the option to change the airflow speed, not lower the heat. A way to help lower that heat on top of your heat protection is to work the blowout brush both sides of each section of hair. This does require a little bit more work, but because these are just one tool and so lightweight, it's really easy to do this step, and it actually helps to dry the hair a bit faster because both sides of the hair are being dry. Typically, I like to do that pattern of lifting the hair 2 to 3 times, like mentioned before, and after letting it out from rolling it into the brush, to place the dryer on the top of your hair instead of underneath, and repeat the same steps. This allows you to work both sides of the hair evenly and prevent one side from being repeatedly overexposed to that heat. It may take a minute to get used to doing this, but you can practice this on dry hair without the heat on to get used to the movement of it.
Sounds like something one should be able to handle. Once you get further up the head, do you just keep working through your hair the same way? Anything one should do differently?
You'll pretty much continue doing those same movements. It's a lot of rinse and repeat, but these steps do work. I do suggest really working to lift the hair straight up as much as possible, or even over directing if you can. This gives you the best chance to get the most volume, and it also leads to a longer lasting blow dry. The crown and sides, you really want to put a lot of focus on lifting and over directing these sections, as they're typically where you want to see the most fullness and volume. I always suggest to clients it's better to save your energy for the top sections. So if you don't lift your lower sections to perfection, it's okay, but really give it your all for the crown and sides.
All right, so start with the volume products, root lifter and mousse, along with a heat protectant, a round blowout brush, and making sure to lift the hair as much as possible, rolling your hair into the brush to get maximum volume.
Yes, like I said before, it's a lot of rinse and repeat, but super easy to do.
This was a lot of good information. Your hair certainly looks amazing, full of body and bounce. I think this is very doable for the viewers at home, and always nice to save some money by not having to go to the salon. Summer, any final tips you can give us for maybe extra volume or keeping our volume?
Thanks, I appreciate that. I like using hairspray for my final product to set everything into place. This will help to keep your volume. It doesn't have to be anything super stiff. You want to look for keywords like workable or touchable in the hairspray description. For extra volume, there are some additional steps you can do like Velcro rollers or volumizing hot tools, but that will take up more time than I think we have here today. So I will leave a video linked below for one to find out that information.
Velcro rollers and volume tools, oh my, that does sound fun. Summer, thanks for being here today. Hair looks great. We'll have to have you back for a smooth salon style blow dry. Be sure to give Summer Beauty a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can check out how to get even bigger hair with these Velcro rollers and hot tools right here. We hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you on the next one.